Hello, I'm Kristin M Roach, and this is a letter from my studio to you. How are you? I am well. The elderflowers are blooming in the prairies, and the ditches between the fields, and most exciting to me, in my orchard. Last year, I painted the very first and only elderberries in the orchard. We had just planted them earlier that year, and they surprisingly bloomed in the summer. All through the hot months, we watered and babied all the trees. The berries were coming in thick clusters, each day checking their progress as they turned from green to violet to deep blue-purple. Just about ripe. One more day. I was leaving to work when I noticed it. The fence was down. We'd installed an 8-foot deer fence to protect all our tender saplings. Half of the trees had half their leaves stripped, and the elderberries gone. We repaired the fence and installed a second fence that was electric, and they only broke through it one more time, jumped over one side, got a kick of electricity and freaked out, and bolted through the other side, ripping just like a huge hole. This time, no trees were damaged, though. It's funny, the electric fence no longer even works, but we haven't had any issues since that day. I think it's working as what's called a 3D fence now, and basically makes it so that you're like, I don't think I want to try to jump that. I like that more, because I did accidentally shock myself on it, and it kicks, but I was just fine. Just, not recommended. Anyway, so a week later, I noticed more elderflowers, and they matured into the lovely cluster I ended up painting. A little bit of berries from the orchard. I drew them in the orchard, then took photos to finish the painting later. I left out of town, and when I returned, the birds had really enjoyed their feast, so they were gone. So yeah, the pictures were all I had to finish the painting. But I'm finding that some of my favorite paintings of botanicals in the backyard are the ones like this. The single rose hips left on the bush, the plantain in the crack in the driveway, the fallen leaf clusters after a storm. I really enjoyed these elderberries for their singularity, the plant's last plea to reproduce for the summer. And it did. It worked. This year we have 4 elders instead of just 2, and they are producing remarkably well. I harvested half the flowers for elderflower tea and will leave the rest to ripen into berries. I always seem to miss the harvest. Hopefully I'll get it right this year. Tomorrow, as long as the rain holds, I'll make my way into the orchard to draw the elderflowers in bloom. So, what have you been up to this summer? What's growing in your yard? Sincerely, Kristin M Roach. Side note, little drawing, I drew my 3D fence and a deer, and then there's also a little aside that says orchard harvest to date, 32 bottles of honey, 4 cherries, like as in singular cherries, 1 cup of dried elderflowers, and 4 pounds of strawberries. On our tree list, we have 4 apple trees, 2 pears, 1 pawpaw, 2 gojis, 2 blueberries, 1 serviceberry, 1 plum, 1 cherry, 2 grapes, 1 mulberry, and 4 elders. Now, I know pawpaws need 2 to reproduce, but we planted 2, and sadly, one of them died. We also started with 5 apple trees, but the frost got one of those as well. So we're going to be replanting a few things this year, but yeah, so far, so good. Sincerely, Kristin M Roach. P.S. The bees are going strong, and we might even get some honey again.